We're talking with Senator Bernie Sanders. Our number 866-303-2270. ThomHartmann.com if you want to drop into our live chat room where you can participate in real time with a whole bunch of other folks who are watching the show or listening to the show. And typically I drop in there during the breaks, but we're not taking any breaks today, so my participation will probably be fairly limited. We're talking with Senator Bernie Sanders, our Brunch with Bernie segment. Dave in St. Paul, Nebraska. You're on the air with Senator Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, hi, guys. Great to get on with you.
Thank you.
My concern was the Emergency Powers Act that Bush enacted on July 17th, aimed primarily at his detractors, I presume, which would be me.
Well, I'm not sure that it was aimed at you. I voted against that bill. I think that Bush's and Gonzalez's approach towards civil liberties and constitutional rights has been an unmitigated disaster. And I say that as somebody who went in the House, helped lead the effort against the USA Patriot Act. The issue here, really, Dave, is not complicated. Terrorism is a serious problem. There are, in fact, people who want to do a great deal of harm to the United States. And if they could, they would. And we've got to stop that. On the other hand, it is my very, very strong belief that with good intelligence, with good law enforcement, we can protect the American people. We can wage an effective war on terrorism, which in many ways we are not doing today, while at the same time we can protect the constitutional rights and the civil liberties of our people, and that is what we have got to do. And that's why I voted against that legislation, and I voted against virtually all of Bush's anti-constitutional actions.
What do you think, Bernie, are the chances that we're actually going to see the Constitution restored? I mean, they have stripped out so much, from the First Amendment with free speech zones to the Fourth Amendment, obviously our privacy rights, right, Sixth, Seventh, and Eighth Amendments, right to trial by jury, et cetera. I mean,
Tom, I think you are seeing, my colleague from Vermont, Senator Leahy, doing a good job on the Judiciary Committee in the Senate. John Conyers, good friend of mine in the House. And I think you are going to see a hard look at all of the efforts that Bush has made, including the so-called signing agreements where he signs bills and says, oh, yeah, but I'm not going to implement this provision because I don't like it. You are going to see that. You've seen a lot of hearings right now in various committees on actions taken by the Bush administration and Gonzalez, and I think that will continue.
So the 6, 7, 8 years of the Bush administration basically claiming all this executive power are going to go down in history as the same kind of aberration as when John Adams signed the Alien and Sedition Acts in 1798 and threw newspaper editors in prison. And Matthew Lyon, the congressman from Vermont, got thrown in prison.
Oh, I wrote you.
You're
absolutely
ran for re-election from his jail cell and won.
Matthew Lyon, one of the first members of Congress in the new country, in the United States, absolutely right. He was thrown into jail for writing a letter to the editor attacking President Adams, and his case became a cause célèbre and became very prominent in the 1800 presidential election, which elected Thomas Jefferson
That's right.
To be president.
Sometimes referred to as the Revolution of 1800 because there was a lot of concern that John Adams was going to refuse to leave the White House. It's almost like we're seeing history repeat itself. And John Adams, a multi-generational president with John Quincy, his son, although the son-father role has been reversed, I think John Quincy was far more progressive than his father. It makes you wonder about reincarnation or something sometimes.
Well, I mean, I think in terms of Bush, as I've said many times, I think history will record him as one of the worst presidents we have ever had, and I think his attack on civil liberties will be close to the top of all of the terrible things that he has done.
Yeah, well said.